women leaders of Kenya, representing very many women who elect us and believe in us. We would like to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta for nominating Ambassador Amina Mohamed as Kenya's candidate for the post of Director General of the World Trade Organization. This is the way for Kenya to realize our strategic development goals number 5, which seeks to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls by 2030. We also wish to thank and congratulate our dear sister, Amina Mohamed, on her nomination by the President. We do know very well that our sister Amina brings the institutional expertise having to guide the organization in all its highest decision-making bodies. In your journey, our sister Amina, we are together with you, we are behind you, we are praying for you. If selected, Amina will be the first woman, the first African woman indeed, the first Kenyan indeed selected for the very important position. We wish to declare our unequivocal endorsement of Ambassador Amina Mohamed, and we wish that our dear sister is going to get the absolute best during the campaign period. We therefore call upon our dear sisters all around the world, those in the diaspora, those that are watching us, those that are going to get to see us, to join us and support Ambassador Amina Mohamed. We wish you all the best, our sister. We are praying for you. Go Amina, go.
Go Amina, go.
Go Amina.
Let me also join my colleagues in thanking Kas Memuna and Wambui, Commissioner Wambui. Mine, first and foremost, is to thank His Excellency the President, and also thank the Right Honorable Prime Minister, and also thank Senator Gideon Moi. Those are 3 men who really believe in women's leadership, and we need to give them a round of applause. Vile wameshikilia wamama mmeona. Representation from all parties, KANU, Jubilee, ODM, mmeona. Secondly, Chair Kewopa, asante sana kwa kutushikilia. Since umekuja Kewopa imeng'ara. Yes. And that is what we really want to see.
Asante.
Paka dadangu hapa amevaa dinner dress leo kwa sababu ya Chair Kewopa. Ya pili, mimi, from where I come from really, I have a lot to thank and to celebrate the women, and including myself. From where I come from, the culture, the way Sabina said, I am the first woman to join the leadership of security committee. It's not something that enyewe kuimba BBI na kuenda Garissa na kuokota signatures. Some of us dared the person who was very powerful in the region. And I really thank God for the journey we've moved together as women of Kenya, embrace, and the women of Parliament and the Assembly. Going forward, I think these appointments or elections came the right time. It came when the country really needs us. There's a challenge of the pandemic. There is teenage pregnancies across the countries. There is also child refinement, including from the region I come from, where we're recording the highest. We also have domestic violence. We also have rape cases. I think as women, we are the ones who are soft. We are the ones who really feel, because we are mothers, we are sisters, and we are wives. I think it is the right time that we need to come together, fight this menace, and support our girls. There's one special person I want to thank here among ourselves, Commissioner Nyoka. Thank you very much for supporting the women agenda. Thank you very much for fighting for our gains. Indeed, Nyokabi, she's the person who is really fighting for our gains. And that is why today she can come here confidently, talk about 2/3 gender being safeguarded with the BBI. It is through her. And we really want to thank you. Women of Kenya, many say, and Sabina here talked about, if a woman is somewhere, you will have a lot of enemies, including women and men. It has happened to many of us. It has happened to me. The challenges to Mali, to Metoka, you people know. Please, the enemies we have here is not about ourselves. It's not the women. It is outside there. It is the society that wanatuona hawa ni wamama, hawezi kuwa governor, hawezi kuwa kwa ile meza, hawezi kuwa rais. No. Please tujishikilie. Let's believe in ourselves. Let us not pull ourselves down. There's a serious disease that we have, PhD, and I hope going forward tutajishikilia wenyewe. Mwisho kabisa, thank you very much, my sister here, my sister for hosting us, and the women, the great chairs and vice chairs of both houses. Thank you very much. Asante sana.
Mama, hi. Really a good evening and very happy to be here. Extremely sort of feeling elated and really, you know, the way you feel happiness until you can't quantify the happiness. Unasikia tu furaha inakubeba tu, inakuinua tu, inakuweka tu kwa hewa. That's how I'm feeling, and really delighted to be here. And just also very quickly is to appreciate that these are positions of trust. That the positions we hold as women leaders are positions of trust. And that whatever you do, then you do for the good of our country, for the good of the women of our country. A lot of macho itakuwa kwenyu, so lazima kujichunga. So when macho mingi, and Sabina spoke correctly, that with women, the double standard, that we are judged even more harshly. But even in women, we say, if you are a woman comparing yourself to a man, you are setting the standard very low. That is not the standard we want. We want a higher standard. We don't want to compare ourselves to men. We want to do better than the men. We want to lead differently. We want to lead as we lead homes. Just as we are mothers at home, those abilities are what we bring onto the leadership platform. A listening ear, a kind ear, but always moving forward. And I'm hoping with the positions that you have, you identify 3 or 4 key priorities, areas of reform, transformational leadership. If you're in education, if you are in health, there are many things as a country we need to do. We may not be able to do all of them in the sense that the time has also passed. We have just about 2 years to the next election. Pick 3 or 4 areas of reform. Dedicate to those areas and do your best to reform those issues. And many of them are just glaring. You don't have to look so far. The issues that we have on the table are just really something that we can quickly pick up on. Draw from expertise from the executive, from parliament, from older members of parliament, from other women who've been on this journey before. Feel free to call on anyone to give us the expertise that we need. And that is what they call transformational leadership. You have to transform. Ukifagia, there must be a difference between how a woman sweeps and how a man sweeps. We must, surely. Lazima si tukifagia, lazima kufagia yetu ionekane. Na hiyo kifagio yenye tumekuwa tunafagia nayo kwa nyumba ndio tunaleta kwa committees. Tukifagia watu watajua hapa mama amefagia. Na amefagia in the right direction and towards showing change for our country. The other one is on Kewopa. Again, really thankful for our chair. We do indeed need to pull together, because when we pull together, we even have better results to show. Return us to the thematic areas. You know, Kewopa used to have thematic committees, education committee, and it's easy for us to follow the Article 43. The health, water, education, food and agriculture, what was the other one? Housing, and then social security. So let's have those thematic areas around which we organize our work. On BBI, there is complete acceptance that the 2/3 gender rule will be fully implemented. Fully implemented in both the National Assembly and the Senate. We are not going to have karibu na 2/3, even in the executive. There will be full implementation of the 2/3 gender rule in the executive, in the counties, and even in the National Assembly and the Senate. And you are going to show the way as to how women are going to be elected. Because if you perform well, we don't even need nominations. We are going to have women elected. And women will vie and women will be elected in positions of leadership. But as far as the drafting goes and as far as the BBI process goes, I think that is a promise we can take to the bank, that the full 2/3 will be implemented. That as we build community bridges, we are also going to build a gender bridge. And both the president and the prime minister, the handshake leaders, are the best leaders as far as women's rights is concerned. They are the best leaders as far as women leadership is concerned. And in their tenure and in their handshake, the women of Kenya will reap the gains that they have been waiting for. This will be the time for us to put our gains in our hands. The 2010 gains are going to be in our hands. And we have seen it already. We've seen it in appointments in commissions, we've seen it in appointments in cabinet, we've seen it in the endorsement of Ambassador Amina, we've seen it now with the House leadership, we've seen it everywhere that really they are committed to the leadership of women. And we are hoping that the BBI now gives us a permanent, because once it is in the constitution, it is now no longer just because they are in office. It will be even when they are not in office. We will always have women's leadership guaranteed in the constitution. So we will be having more sessions to just run through what the issues are. Really, you know, as we go on, and I like what Sabina was saying about common voice. We also have the common women's agenda. So one of the other things will also be to quickly build bridges with the women outside of leadership. Women leaders across the mashinani, in the churches, in the markets. So one of the things we're going to do very quickly is organize ourselves to meet women leaders from other areas, KEPSA, private sector, manufacturing. There are many other women leaders that we need to build bridges so that then our work can be seen. We call it the common women agenda. So I think our clarion call is to have a common women agenda. What a man can do, a woman can do better. What a man can do, a woman can do better. If you want something said, you ask the man. If you want something done, you ask a woman. Mama, hi.